Coming up on Channel 8 News, a death on campus brings awareness to the prevalence of veteran suicide.
Plus, the Kanza could be closing, and K-State students see an increase in fees. We'll hear from those in charge of the fees.
The wind is blowing, the air is smoky, and we get our first glimpse of some spring showers, all next on my 5-day forecast on Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today on Channel 8 News. I'm Mitch May.
And I'm Ashlyn Turner. We have plenty of news on our show today.
We start first with a sobering story on the K-State campus. Jacob Horton, an Army veteran and freshman at K-State, shot and killed himself on a campus parking lot on April 2nd. The tragic event adds to an important discussion about how to help veterans with thoughts of suicide. Juan Cisneros has the story.
22. A number for some, a rallying point for others. 22 veterans commit suicide per day, according to a Veteran Affairs 2012 report. For many members of the military, assimilating back to civilian life can be a struggle. For Marine veteran Justin Manford, that struggle almost led to his death.
I almost took my life. If it wasn't for the fact that my roommates were home, which I hadn't known, well, I can't really speculate. I can guess, but...
Now Justin works as president for the Veteran Student Organization, a resource for veterans to integrate into campus lifestyle.
If you're a veteran on campus and you don't want to join my organization, that's fine. What I care is that you know that we're here as a resource.
Local veterans can also seek help from the numerous regional VA facilities. Public Affairs Officer Joseph Burks said the Eastern Kansas VA continues to modernize and expand to help accommodate the veterans. 2014 allegations state this regional VA manipulated wait times. Last month, the VA Office of Inspector General found these allegations to be unsubstantiated, but that doesn't mean there are no proponents to reform. Like Aaron Esterbrook, an Army veteran and former vice chair for Veterans and Military Council.
When you get back and you get into the system, and it's a difficult system to even get into with the VA, but once you're in, it's still very complicated, and there's long waits. It's in many ways a disaster.
22 may be a large number, but one life lost is one life too many. Juan Cisneros, Channel 8 News.
You can join the Veteran Student Organization at a memorial service for Jacob Horton in Bosco Plaza on the north end of the K-State Student Union, Wednesday, April 13th between 11:30 and 1:30 p.m.
With all the pressures of school, work, and family life, we can all use a moment to just unplug. Channel 8's Mackenzie Dinas discovered one of Manhattan's hidden gems, a place where we can all just float our problems away.
My name is Mackenzie Dinas, and I'm here with Channel 8 News, going to check out a way to relieve stress, tension, and anxiety. Here at Kansas Float, it's a water therapy system where you can have a new peace of mind. So let's go check it out.
I had to make sure all of my T's were crossed and I's were dotted before Will took me through Floating 101.
So Will, can you kind of explain to me what I'm going to be experiencing with Float Kansas today?
Yeah, I can give my best effort. Each individual experience is unique to its own, but you're going to be floating in 800 pounds of Epsom salt today, effortlessly. That's more buoyant than the Dead Sea. While you're in there, you're going to transdermally absorb a bunch of magnesium sulfate, which is what Epsom salt is made out of. It's really good for lowering cortisol levels, improving serotonin production throughout the body, inducing a really relaxing state.
Will prepares the tank for each float by setting the temperature to match the client's natural body heat. All ages can benefit from using the float tank, whether you're using it to relieve anxiety, stress, issues with mental focus, or PTSD.
So I've always been an ADD, ADHD type of mind, pretty neurotic, just constantly running. And the first time I got in a float tank, that was almost completely subdued. I got to a place where I had to guess, whether it was 15, 20 minutes had gone by since my last thought process. You come back to earth, you get your sensory input back, your mind maybe starts to wander and think a little more, but with a lot more clarity, maybe a more narrow focus. I would kind of jump from one thing to another my entire life, and these floats are definitely helping with that.
Mackenzie is here with us now to talk about her experience. Honestly, I'm a little jealous. Tell me about that experience you had.
Yeah, well, first let me tell you, it was a leap of faith going in there because it's this dark tank with all this water and you close the door on yourself. But as I floated and relaxed, I realized how much I really enjoyed it. I was more comfortable than I've been in a very long time. And before I knew it, the 60 minutes was over. Yeah. It was crazy how fast it went. But to enter into a free drawing, for you to have the same feeling that I was able to endure a few minutes of just peace and quiet, there's 1 hour session to float yourself. Just log on to KSU Channel 8 News on Facebook or Twitter and type in #FloatKansas, KSU. Spread the word, deadline is Friday.
Issues about the K-State community are being set on the table for public discussion. Last Thursday, there was the first roundtable discussion hosted by 91.9 KSDB.
We had a really interesting experience where a group of us were brought in to talk about the future of the journalism school. And I think it ended up being quite an interesting topic because we were talking about the media in general and where our students will get jobs in the future.
The roundtable gave undergraduate and graduate students, along with faculty and administration, the opportunity to voice their opinions and experiences. The conversations at the roundtables are designed to help administration improve and initiate changes in the community that they see necessary. The K-State community can participate in these events by emailing questions to the programming at ksdbfm.org or by tweeting at KSDB. Watch the KSDB website for upcoming roundtable schedules.
K-State collects nearly $16 million from students each year to fund various non-instructional projects through the student privilege fee. Among the uses for the fee, $4 million each year fund union operations and improvements, $400,000 to the Collegian Media Group, and $5 million to fund student health services and $3 million to fund the rec center. As the cost of the attending college continues to rise, some students are questioning if the roughly $850 privilege fee paid by students each year is justified. Members of the Student Government Association say the fees are a necessity to a vibrant student life.
One idea that was tossed around this year is, should students be able to opt out of paying fees that they may not necessarily use? And I would say no personally. Of course, it's the way that we operate, but I would say no, because if providing our agencies with a stable revenue stream provides or allows them to provide much better services than they would otherwise. The role and the impact that students get to have on how their money is spent at K-State, I believe, is truly, truly unique, and it's something that I think students take for granted.
When we come back, we'll talk with an international student from Cameroon.
And later, we'll check up on K-State sports. Don't go anywhere.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Students from K-State's African Student Organization got to show off their talent and culture on Friday evening as a part of the African Culture Night. Channel 8 reporter Andrew Shores was in the Union Ballroom for the fun and festivities.
Kansas State University may be nestled in the landlocked comfort of the American Midwest, but diversity is alive and well. Students from all 54 countries of Africa got together on Friday night to share and celebrate their culture and heritage as a part of African Culture Night in the Union Ballroom. The idea came from the mind of Carabella, president of the African Student Union. She came to K-State from Cameroon in 2012.
When I got here, I thought myself that I wouldn't see anybody that looks like me. I was so surprised. The administration and, professors, they have that interest about where I'm from, and which is just amazing. I think
dances, fashion shows, poetry, and fellowship were all a part of the evening, which filled the room for more than 2 hours. Alex showed off her Cameroonian roots with a song and dance.
It's a colorful country that has a lot of talent, and I think for me to be willing to do that, it's like an honor.
Alex says she has used the African Student Organization to find comfort and fellowship in Manhattan, and Friday night was an opportunity for Africans on campus to share a piece of themselves with K-State.
It's a way to just say, we are happy, we are proud of being African.
If you are looking to learn more about culture on the African continent, make sure to clear your calendars for Saturday afternoon for the African Foods Festival at Jardine Frith Community Center. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Andrew Shores.
We heard from Alex Carabella just moments ago. She's here now. She joins us with Brennan here in the studio. Brennan?
Thanks, Ashlyn. I'm here with Alex Carabella, the president of the African Student Union, who helped put on that great event. Definitely looked like a lot of fun. So, looked like to be a rousing success as well. So, what were your expectations for that event, and how do you say it went?
Thank you, Brennan. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here to discuss about the African Student Union. I honestly didn't have expectation than just having people show up and enjoy the show, which we had. Surprisingly enough, a lot of people showed up at the Union Ballroom, and we all had such a great moment. The comments afterward was awesome.
Now, we're all aware of some of the tension that goes on in Africa, and it was mentioned that there was representatives from all 54 countries in Africa at this event. How big of an event, or how big of an accomplishment, I should say, was that for you, that you got everyone there just kind of put aside their differences and just embrace your common heritage?
What most of members of ASU are, what we all agree on, is to come together and talk about our similarities and what bring us together and how we showcase that to K-State, and that's our leitmotif. So we don't really focuses on the differences. So what happened is, because it's not easy to represent the full continent, each of us come together and discuss, like the fashion show, for example, which was mainly on the gele, the head wrap, African hair wrap. This is a common culture around Africa, and it was a great pleasure for each of us to just focus on that as our similarity, to talk about that to the public at K-State.
So, it was also mentioned that you're going to have an African food festival coming up here next week, and so tell us some about that.
So the food festival, it's mainly about food and dances, and people will be presenting food from the 5 regions of Africa, so North, East, South, West, and Central Africa. This is also another way to educate the public about that Africa, it's a continent, and we have different foods from different places in Africa. So it is at the same time pleasurable, because people have a chance to taste the different foods from every place in Africa, and as well understand that Africa, it's a continent.
Very interesting. So you're the president of the African Student Union. So what other events or activities that you do with the organization, or what all do you do in general?
Usually what we do is the school, whenever we have some representative coming from Africa at K-State, the school will contact the African Student Union to welcome that particular person. Like this year we had an ex-official from Mozambique who was the one who came. We had to usually we make sure he has some African food, African dinner or African lunch. And also we welcome him as to be present at K-State, have some African at K-State so he feel at home. Those are the kind of stuff that we do working with the school in terms of welcoming and, representing diversity at K-State.
Very interesting. Alex, thank you very much for joining us here. We're now going to toss it back to Mitch May and Ashlyn Turner.
Thanks, Brennan. Coming up, we will get a weather update from Juan Cisneros.
Plus, the K-State baseball team looks to get their first game win in the Big 12. All that and more coming up. Stay with us.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition. Passion. You.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Would you happen to have a purple kaftan?
Only for game days.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Have you ever wondered if those late-night dramas about police are accurate? Well, the Riley County Police Department is giving community members a never-before-seen look at the department through their community engagement program. RCPD 101 is a hands-on and engaging way for community members to learn about the department's special teams and get a behind-the-scenes look at the facilities. Past classes has featured a history of the department and a tour of the Riley County Jail and a rundown of the patrol functions. Each class is interactive, giving participants the opportunity to experience everything from sampling jail food, watching a taser demonstration, and learning about investigations by viewing evidence from a real-life case. The class meets every second Monday of the month from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. RCPD hopes the classes will help maintain a positive relationship between the police and the community.
As the weather gets warmer this spring, the beloved Kansas Prairie walking trails could become off limits. Kansas biologists have urged community members to pick up their trash, stay on marked trails, and refrain from walking their pets on the trail. However, biologists have seen no change or help to keep the prairie clean. As a result, the Kansas could be forced to close and will not allow access to the nature trails on weekends. Biologist John Briggs said closing the park is the last resort, but may be necessary to preserve the endangered tallgrass prairie ecosystem. And speaking of the outdoors, Channel 8's Juan Cisneros is here to give us an update on the weather. Juan?
Thanks, Ashlyn. Pretty cool weathers throughout the country today. If we look here towards the west coast, up in North Seattle with a cool 52, cool 61 in Sacramento, down south in Texas, and Austin around 66, up a little north Omaha with a 53-degree breeze. Up here in the east coast, Boston experiencing 55 degrees, and Atlanta another cool 68. Let's move on to our national map. Throughout the northwest and west coast, some clouds and a little bit of rain. Down south, a couple more thunderstorms, but here in the Midwest, we're experiencing some good sun. Let's move to our Kansas map. Southwest, we got a cool 58 degrees. Moving a little more east, we move to 62 in our Manhattan area, 60 degrees, and up in Kansas City, 54 degrees. Let's move to our 5-day forecast. Wednesday, we'll be experiencing warm weathers up to 78 degrees. Same goes for Thursday. Go ahead and get your outdoor activities done these days because Friday, we'll start seeing a little bit of clouds. Still warm degrees of 78, but the clouds will continue into Saturday morning with a couple of morning showers and clouds throughout the day. So don't put your rain jackets away just yet. And on Sunday, it's going to rain. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Juan. Looks like it'll actually be pretty nice the next couple of days until the rain.
Yeah, and I look forward to it. Coming up next, Raven White is here to give us an update on sports. We'll be right back.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a waterhole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is K-State alumnus Mark Sowers. While at K-State, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat way.
I am an artist. I'm an explorer.
A parent.
Working full-time.
I am the future. I'm finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student. I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's Global Campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's Global Campus.
Welcome back. The K-State baseball team had a bit of a rough start to the season.
Yes, they certainly have, Ashlyn. Our own Raven White is here to tell us about if they got their first Big 12 win of the season this past weekend. Raven?
All right, let's take a look at the K-State Batcats. K-State baseball has had a bit of a rough patch lately, to say the least. After dropping the first 2 games against Texas this weekend, they look to end the series on a good note. The Longhorns get on the board first in the bottom of the 2nd inning with a sac fly Patrick Mathis. It brings in Casey Clemens, the son of the former All-Star Roger Clemens, and gets the Horns to an early 1-0 lead. K-State made some solid defensive plays throughout the game. Zane Gerwitz tries to move up on this wild pitch, but a solid throw and tag from Tyler Moore to get Wolf gets to him. Defense saved the Cats again from the 5th inning. A laser from the arm of Quentin Cardinal grabs the Texas runner at the plate to keep it 1-0, well within bottom reach. Bottom of the 7th, Clayton Darwell drives the baseball deep right field. Patrick Mathis makes a tough catch near the wall, but the sac fly brings it in Quentin Cardinal to even the game up at a 1-piece. Bottom of the 8th, Cade Bunnell hits a hard ground ball to second base, but it's too much to handle for the second baseman, Zane Gerwitz. Tyler Moore crosses the plate and gets an 8-2-1 lead. Wildcats in their lead of the game. Things get even crazier during the next at-bat. Michael Smith drives a base hit to left field. A solid throw from the outfield traps Sam Chadwick between 2nd and 3rd. But during the tie-up, Quentin Cardinal scores from 3rd to add another run for K-State. Chadwick ends up safe at 3rd anyways. And the Cats now have a 3-1 lead going into the 9th. Lucas Bonatti comes in to close out the game. Despite giving up a solo homer to Zane Gerwitz, he gets Brett Boswell to the ground out and seals the 3-2 victory for K-State over the Horns, helping the Batcats end the series on a positive note. The Wildcats travel to West Virginia for a 3-game series with the Mountaineers starting Friday night. Now for the Kansas State women's rugby team that has had a very successful season, competing in over 10 tournaments and 10 matches in 3 tournaments with a win-loss record of 6-8, beating nearby teams including KU, Benedictine, Wichita, and bringing home a first-place trophy from the Topeka St. Patrick's tourney. their last match of the season in Kansas City on April 16th against the Kansas City team, the Jazz. K-State is currently ranked third in their division and plan on playing in regionals on May 6th and 7th, where they play for the opportunity to go to nationals. In other rugby news, the men's team is also doing well, although in a bit of a slump this semester, posting a 2 wins and 3 loss records following a 32-21 loss to Iowa State on Saturday. The Cats are still on a 11-4 on the year and will be fighting on the way to go to nationals. K-State hopes to go to a tournament, and that is it for sports. Back to you all at the desk.
Hopefully the Batcats can get back on track after that win against Texas.
Yeah, it's Ashlyn. After the break, we will get one of our final looks at the weather, so stay with us.
I'm a dog person.
I'm a sports fan.
An artist.
Working full-time.
I am the future.
I am finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student.
I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Juan Cisneros is here to give us one final look at the weather. So Juan, how's it looking here in Manhattan?
Well, the next few days, they should be pretty sunny, pretty smooth until we hit a little bit of rain towards the weekend, Saturday morning. Sunday, you're in for a lot of rain.
A lot of rain. So speaking of the Conza Prairie, I know that we talked about earlier that it may or may not be closing. So definitely don't hit up the Conza Prairie on Sunday because it's going to be raining. But I mean, I think we need to get out there and we need to do our part and clean it up and try to keep that Conza Prairie open because I know I really enjoy going out there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, make sure to always head to our Facebook and our Twitter to check out KSU Channel 8 News. And we will be back next week.